Hey everyone, I'm Anna and welcome to my game dev journey, and today's devlog is about the most draining month yet, I think, and the most fast paced in terms of tasks because I had to finish some art tasks and also get this game together in terms of code because I was just learning pixel art all this time and completely abandoned my code stuff, so I had to build everything from scratch to create my first teaser for the game and launch this YouTube channel. So let's get straight into it. And by the way, if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by and check out my previous devlogs to see the progress, which was pretty incredible. I was drawing a lot of pixel art lately, but I still had to finish some things for my teaser. And first thing was the damn cliffs that I deeply hated drawing because they were incredibly difficult to draw. And in the previous devlog, I shown them already fully made, but actually until then they weren't fully made and I had to add like a structure to them, the highlights and the shadows, and that was very time consuming, but I had to do it very quickly, so I focused only on the part that is under the house because I want to make a cinematic shot with this part for my teaser. I also tried to add vegetation to the cliffs, but it was really difficult for me to do and I just had to suspend this task for an unknown amount of time because it's just not up to my skill yet and I will have to deal with it later. Also, I noticed that I had a lot of inconsistency in the style of the objects on my map because I was learning from a lot of sources and the process was stretched in time. I decided to get rid of dithering. It isn't really working for me because it looks really off for my style and for my Mediterranean setting. And also, as I wanted to create like a cinematic scene shot with the hill, I also should add the beach and the sea in this area especially, and I wanted to create a beach like very, I don't know, pretty and interesting, I guess, but it kind of didn't work out. I didn't really know what to do and I was really running out of time and I just drawn a really basic shape and the colors and just sprinkled lighter and darker accents on it, and honestly I like it. It turned out like a very glittery beach. For the water, I decided not to do it at all. I just laid out the colors that I want to do because I quickly realized that I want a lot of features for the water, for the beach, and I have no clue how to do it all or just even anything of it. So I decided to just not do it right now because it's too complicated right now. That's just the colors of the beach and of the sea just to set up the mood, and the color palette just for the visuals and for the mood, I guess. And yeah, I guess I was just fixing some pixels here and there, you know, and was making everything look cuter and prettier and just more clean, and that was pretty much it. And I had to go into this code stuff. All the previous stuff, all the systems didn't really work because I kind of borrowed the code from the tutorial game that I was creating and I had to create new systems for a scalable game. So first thing that I started with is Interactables. Interactable is the most important thing in the game because player interacts with everything in the game, and this component, like Interactable something, has to be really flexible and really scalable, I guess. Right now I don't even know what Interactable can I have in the game later, and I always try to thinking about this from the side of engineering architecture perspective because I don't really want to create a component right now which will fit my needs right now, but then I will add some stuff later in the game development process and this component will break because this new stuff will not fit this component or otherwise. So yeah, I always trying to think in the future like how big the game could be and how many interactable objects can we have, how different they will be, what kind of interactable actions will we have. And so why I had to rebuild this component is because I went to see how this component was working when I was creating this farming minigame, and when I was creating it I wasn't even care how it works because I obviously need something to get familiar with the game engine and game development in general. So I needed something that works, and now I was staring at it and realized that it works like this, that we have a player and the player has a collision shape. Collision shape is an area which can tell us if something is intersecting with it, and we have an interactable item which also has collision shape. So when both are intersecting, it triggers some action, and the action is where item is being added to the current interactable in the player, and when player clicks on this item, the algorithm is looking if there is a current interactable, and if yes, then performs interaction of this particular interactable. So yeah, I saw immediately a lot of problems with this approach. Like for the tutorial purposes, it's really fine, but for the actual game, it cannot really work, because what if we have a few interactables that sit very close to each other? So the player will come near to both of them, and only one of them will set as a current interactable in the player. But what if I will click on the another one, not the one that was set as the current interactable? So this will be broken, and there are a lot of other potential problems because of it. So of course I needed to rebuild this stuff. The problem that I actually had with this is that I need to turn this process around, and I need the interaction to go from the player, obviously, because the player initiates every interaction. So every interaction should start when the player clicks on the interactable item or interactable area. So I called this component interactable area. If player clicks interactable area, and here I also decided to share a little bit of responsibility between different components, and I check if the player has an actual state to enter. For example, if the player comes near to the tree and clicks on the tree, and the tree says, hey player, you should go to the chopping state to chop me. And the player okay, I have chopping state. So if yes, then this interaction actually goes to the player's state machine, and they interact with each other by themselves. But if not, then we can provide any other custom action for this and emit a signal that can be caught from anywhere else. And it really is useful because we can catch the signal to I don't know, play sounds or update quests or do basically anything in the game. But in our case, we can have a listener inside the player, for example, or inside an item which can listen to the signal, and when the listener will catch the signal, it will perform the action. It's that simple, but all that I needed. The interaction goes from the player initiates all the interactions, and then I shared some responsibilities between them and redirect all that kind of stuff. That's how I got my new interactable system. I basically can assign these interactable areas for anything in my game, for a tree, for a rock, for a chest, for buildings, literally for everything. Next really big thing that I have to do is the core feature that I have to show on my teaser is something about renovation, right? Because this is the game about renovation. So I decided that if I already have the exterior of the house, so I need to come up with the renovation system of the exterior of the house. And as the exterior of the house is literally very, very small, I have to come up with a system that would be extended in the period of time. It won't be you click once and then the whole house is renovated. So I had to create a step-by-step system, so it won't be a one-time thing, but it shouldn't be boring either. And first thing that I thought about is I should have layers. Then I should definitely break this tiny image of the house into several parts. Then I should be able to apply different materials. I should use different materials to renovate this thing. And of course the tools, I need to use different tools because that's for me the most exciting, I guess, part of the renovation. And yeah, I was looking on these components and quickly came up with the idea. I have these parts and I also just created the interactable area component. But what if I take this interactable area and place it on the house so I can click on these parts and interact with them? Would be cool. So that's how I created renovation region region component from the interactable area component. And that's cool because that proves that I created a scalable component that I could scale it to another components. And then I was also thinking how to create layers, because renovation is always like you go layer by layer. It's always like that. I was thinking like, okay, I have different materials on the house. I have stone walls, I have mortar between the stone, and I have the wooden doors, I have wooden frame for windows, I have glass windows, I have terracotta tiles on the roof, and it's really interesting materials and they're all so different and I can play around about layers. And so I decided that each material will have layers and each layer would have the renovation region. And of course I did not create that many renovation regions, I repurposed them. But essentially what I did is that, for example, if I have stone wall, the first layer, the very last one, is a new stone wall. Then I have dirty, dusty stone with the changed color of the stone. Then I had layer with the cracked stones above it, and then I had the layer with the moss on over the cracked and dusty and dirty stone. When you play it, you kind of cut every layer by layer to get to the new stone layer. When you click on the renovation region, the shape of it on the current layer becomes transparent, so it basically cuts off from this layer. And yeah, when you finish all the regions on this layer gets disappeared and you are working on the next layer and the next layer and down. And each layer also has a required tools and or required inventory items, as I said, materials and tools. For example, to fix terracotta tiles, you need new terracotta tiles. To clean the dirt and moss, you have to have a brush or something like that. And to get rid of the vegetation, you have to have a garden pruner. I was really enjoying creating all these tools and all these mechanics, and that was really fun actually. So when I finished this renovation system, I was really happy about it. And of course there is a lot of things to do more, and this is obviously the stuff only for the house exterior. When I will go to the house interior or for the objects around the house, like for the greenhouse and for the fountains, I think I will add more different mechanics and different interesting maybe tools or of course materials or something like that. So yeah, I had little presentation in my notebook. After I finished the renovation system, it looked very raw, so I had to add a little bit juice to it. First thing that really should be there is hints, because when you hover all these renovation regions and they are all glowing when you hover them, you don't really know what to do with them. So I should add hints that will say to you what do you need or what tool do you need here. Also, the same way I created labels for inventory items like on hover. Also, I created some parts of the renovation when you need not just one inventory item but a few. So I really had to add some progress bar for some renovation parts, so the player can really know what does he need to renovate this part, how many items he needs. I added this progress bar, very basic panel, so that was really basic stuff, really quick. Then started completely another chapter because I thought that it was literally enough for the teaser at the moment, and I really needed something more to show, at least one more feature. And the second major pillar of the game is exploration and gathering resources. This is the main hook of the game. You go outside, you go to the world, you gather all these resources, you explore the world, and you bring everything to your house and you use it to renovate it. And the basic stuff that I needed to do is fix mining and chopping stuff. So first off, before that, I had to draw more trees and rocks. So I went on itch.io and I found a free sprite sheet with rocks that will do good in my game, I think. And I just needed to change the colors for it, and basically I took them as is and placed them around on the map. Yeah, I just had to draw the trees trees, and that took me a while because trees are really difficult if you don't know how they look from above. I don't. I'm really short and all the pictures in the internet are literally only from the profile of the tree. After some time of fighting with the perspective, I dropped the idea of following this perfect perspective stuff and I just will draw as I see it, and that's what I did. I got some references. I literally went outside and get pictures of the olive trees that I had in park nearby, and I draw an olive tree, a very small olive tree. Actually, there is a story about these trees. I already had a pine tree, Mediterranean pine tree. The reason I say about this because Mediterranean pine tree is really different from in other regions. It's really pretty. It is more golden green, and when I moved here I was always looking at this tree and always thinking like, wow, this tree is so big and so beautiful. And the first thing I did, I drawn this pine tree. When I placed it on a map and compared to my player, it seemed very high for me and very, I don't know, large scale compared to the world itself. And I felt really bad because I knew that I can't redraw it. I just can't. I will not do it anymore. So I decided to leave it like this. And then when I decided that the two other trees will be the olive tree, and the first thing I thought that it will be an oak tree. Then I realized that it's not that popular on the Mediterranean area, and then I decided that it will be a chestnut tree, and they're actually pretty similar in pixel art scale, so not a big deal. And then I placed them near my pine tree. I realized that their sizes are actually very realistic, because if I will compare the pine tree and the olive tree in real life, olive tree is usually so small and the pine tree is so high and the crown is so huge and so fluffy. I was really happy that it all worked out really well and all the trees are fit my world pretty great, and I love all the trees so much. And the last tree that I drawn is actually my favorite tree, is jacaranda tree. This tree goes wild during spring because before it gives green leaves, it goes fully purple. It is so beautiful. So that's why I drawn it without green leaves. And yeah, I just wanted to capture it as is. It's fantasy world overall. So I've talked enough about trees, and after I finished all the drawings, I finally fixed mining and chopping, and then I realized that I didn't do something very important for interactable component, because I literally was able to click on any objects of the map from everywhere on the map. So I have to add proximity to interactions, so it has limits. And then I realized that there is one more interesting thing that I had to do. Basically, player was able to mine down the rocks on the hill and just fall off the cliff. Yeah, I had to create a feature to be able to disable some determined interactables. So I basically added just like a developer mode where I check the box and say that player cannot interact with this object and it's just developer only object. And then I was like, well, it started to feel like that is like I can really start planning my teaser, and I was running around the map with my player, with my character, and then I realized that I forgot to set the boundaries for the camera. Yeah, that sometimes happens when you have a large world, but it's not a big deal. I added the camera boundaries, and then I started planning what my teaser will look like. And of course, I was thinking that it will not be like a full-fledged trailer or not even like a cool teaser trailer or something like that, because I will only have a content for a few seconds at least to show only a bit of vibe or mood and to show the setting of my game and a main direction, I guess, of the game. And also I wanted to add this thing that it will be a cozy game after all, and I wanted to add this coziness through the screen, and I wanted to create this first few seconds that were coming up from the sea to the mountain slowly, showing off my cliffs that I was was drawing so hard and I created a camera movement. And yeah, I was working on this trailer, I guess, for a really long time, even though it's a few seconds, but I put a lot of hard work in it, and I was searching a lot of free assets, free sounds, but at that moment I didn't have any sounds in the game, so I had to bring them to the trailer first. Yeah, I was thinking about creating my own music like all cool game developers do, but I'm not that skilled yet even in game development, so I will do that a lot later, I guess, when at least I will have something to show off in terms of the game itself. And yeah, I created the teaser and I created the YouTube channel, added basic art stuff to the channel and uploaded the teaser, and I didn't really expect it teaser to like blown up. I created a lot of YouTube channels before that, and I really knew the hard truth about growing the YouTube channel when you don't have a million friends and followers in Instagram or TikTok or whatever that you can redirect to your new channel, your new passion. It's a pretty hard journey, and I guess I was ready for it, but still I got some subscribers since the very first teaser trailer, and thank you guys if you're still here. Before September, I actually managed also to create a zero devlog that is also on my channel. You're welcome to watch it if you still didn't. I created it but uploaded only in September, so yeah, it still was a very productive month, and I think the most productive yet, because September and now the start of October is not really a good time for me in terms of my health. Unfortunately, I'm still making the game, I'm still doing, but my productivity was cut in half, I guess, maybe even a little bit more in September, so I'm not as productive as I wanted to be, and I'm really pissed off about it. But like the fact that the latest video got the 2K views and so many subscribers was blowing my mind, literally. Thank you guys so much for lots of love and support and lots of comments. I wasn't really expecting that, so thank you so much. And yeah, I made this video and I'm getting better and better every day, and I think my productivity is getting back as well, so I am going back to my full power and will make more progress next month. And yeah, I guess we'll see you sometime in the next vlog. Thank you so much for watching me. Bye. Oh, the soundproofing in these apartments are literally killing me. I even bought the mic and it's still, I bet you heard this. English grammar is killing me sometimes. Sorry.